Hi, it is iYikkam time again. So the topic of water down Wing Chun is very popular. Many Wing Chunner friends discuss with me, and different people have different view on how Wing Chun get watered down. Today I'd like to share with you what I found. Okay. The first thing is that there is this practice of withholding informations. So the first generations pass to the second generations. Usually they can pass, say, 100% of the informations, and then the second generation pass to the third, they just pass 70%. Okay, and then the third generation, who have only 70% of the informations, is going to only pass 40% to the next generation. And then, at every art like this, after 3 generations, it's like totally you don't see much of the art anymore. Okay, the reason being that the teacher feel insecure of their student, and then they want to reserve that 30% or the important 30%. So in case the student betray them, then they always have something which is which can handle the student. Okay, so this is a open secret, or is this a fact? Okay, for ordinary teacher. The reason why I say ordinary is that because this type of teaching is actually based on somebody who only inherits something. Okay, this is not from a guy or a group of people who is capable. Okay, so this do happen, and at the third generations, you know that the art is watered down to the point that it can be anything. Okay, but the art, because it is very thin already. You don't have much the essence of the art. Okay. Now, of course, the second reason of the watery down of Wing Chun is that there are people who exploit Wing Chun for their business. Their idea is to make money out of Wing Chun, make their student cash cow. So they create all kinds of stuff, beginning with they don't know much either. Okay, as you can see, people add in like different art, internal art, and so forth, or making different type of classes and so forth. Just the bottom line is to get a lot of students, seminars, and so forth, so that you make a lot of money that way. It's like today's marketing, those sales and so forth, like what do you call that, the networking sales, so forth. So those are business. Okay, and you can see often that the guy who do that is just doing it for their own money and their own title. Okay, so it always happen like a cult. Okay, you start a cult, and then you make up all kinds of stuff, make it so that the leader is like a godlike, and then it is a really mysterious type of stuff. You have some secret this, secret that. Okay, and then actually the spirit empty for the content, and then from this big cult, then you come up with the different student who say, hey, he can do that, I can do that too. So they make themselves another cult leader. Okay, and then they practice the same, and then they go out, bring in different stuff, and then just create their own stuff. And you can see that this become your Wing Chun, my Wing Chun, his Wing Chun, okay, ABC, Joe Wing Chun, Steve Wing Chun, all kinds of stuff, okay. But it doesn't start with Wing Chun to the beginning, in the beginning anyway, okay. So at the beginning, it doesn't have much Wing Chun, and it's just keeping growing in the commercial direction there, or cult way, that it just keeping adding in thing, and we just of course you don't see Wing Chun in those type of organizations or those kind of teaching. Now the key issue of this so-called water down is that instead of the first two, the one which is common practice, that you withhold something not to teach your student, and the cult type of stuff or commercial type of stuff, okay. The key issue is actually can be explained today by this spiral dynamics. So what happened is that, as we know that in spiral dynamics you have all these different colors or the state of people. Due to this different people is going to present the thing what they see, okay, and that cause a big diversion, and also you have to watch out. Say for example, the spiral dynamics type, okay, the state start from this beige to turquoise, okay, beige to turquoise, and here is purple, this is red, and then blue, okay, and then this is yellow, and so forth, okay. Now the guy in blue or purple or red is not going to be able to understand what is the technology which is presented by the yellow, okay, and that create a nature water down, because if the teacher is at the yellow level or state, the student is in the purple, then the student obviously will not be able to understand what is going on, and is only be able to teach what the student can see, okay. And then you can have a teacher in yellow, but the student can be in the purple, the red, the blue, and so you can see all kinds of different type of teaching, okay. And of course it's not as how to say that, as holistic as in the or systemic as in the yellow, because here is just they have their own way or own directions of looking at things, okay. So there's an issue, okay. And also with this spiral dynamics, you can see that, like people who withhold, the first C who withhold the information, you know that he is insecure, and you know that he is not in this level. If you are in this level, hey, thing can be created. Why are you afraid of your student to be better than you? If you really have the insight, have the achievement, you can make use of this nature, okay, and there's you feel confident on what's going on, because it's like for example, say a designer, a top designer, okay, he can teach his student whatever it is, because a designer be able to create things from thin air, okay, because they are so solid in their understanding, their insight, that they can create things. So they can teach everything to their student, okay, no reserve. And in fact, a real teacher who is capable want his student to go yellow so that be able to see what he see, then the issue is that the student very rare will get into this level. So then you get all kinds of filtering here or water down here, okay. And actually one don't even have to what do you call it, reserve or hold on to the 30% if one is really know the art, because you see, it is that development of the teacher, the student, which is be able to inherit what it is, or be able to master the art, okay. So for example, say if we teach if a sifu teach 100% to all the students, and you know only the student who get to the yellow level be able to see it. The student who is in the purple and red and blue, they will not be able to see it, okay. And the secret is there. Will one be able to get to the yellow, okay. So this is a big issue. And for the guy who start the cult and so forth, the higher they go, their kung fu or their state go, they change, okay. And say the guy in the purple, or they start the cult, everything is tribal and so forth, you know, like really close-minded, and then they are the magic and so forth. But if someday they get to yellow, they say, hey, you know, why do I want to do this? There's so many things here that everything can be beneficial and so forth. So they do no longer become a cult member, okay, or a cult leader. Like for example, there are so many which the Buddha, when Buddha is teaching, they are different of his student, they are cult leader. But when they met Buddha, and they realized, hey, you know, I don't know this, okay, and this doesn't have to be like that. I can even better than myself, okay. So this spiral dynamics, you know, is a good model to show that actually, if you look at it in a good way, most people do not want to be bad people, okay. Most people, they do not perform, or they do what they do is because they don't know what is the reality, or the more advanced thing which they never know, okay. Now of course there are people who is have a not good heart, okay, which is like in their mind they just want to be the god of the systems, okay, and then they just want to manipulate people. So those are the people who is quote unquote have a bad heart at the beginning. However, most people say, for example, if they are poor, okay, say they can have give $100, but if they suddenly become a millionaire or billionaire, then they can say, okay, well, I can give $10,000, $100,000, 1 million, no problem, okay. Most people are like that, okay? When they get more, they will share more. But of course, there are people who purposely want to screw other people, because they want to be the godlike, okay? And of course, this is a boil down to a lot of insecurity, also inferiority complex. Also, the guy who really confident, like you talk to Albert Einstein on physics, he'll tell you everything. Okay, the issue is that can you really see what he's talking about? Instead of oh, you know, I don't want to tell you this. And the same thing also is like even Albert Einstein told you all about the physics. How much do you be able to grasp it? Okay, so what I see is that this is this different level of state is a very important thing, which most don't see. Most thinking like this: oh, there is a Wing Chun, a complete Wing Chun, created by some superhuman being. Okay, and this 100%, I want to learn this 100%. Okay. There's the whole, the complete Wing Chun. I want to learn that. Okay, most people see things this way sometimes. Okay, or usually. Okay, what they don't see is that this is actually a growing system, like Albert Einstein. Okay, and what they miss is that even if I give you this much of information, how much really you can get it. Okay. That is a big part. So you can see this in the school. This is you can study in the martial arts study. It's like if a sifu teach all his students, then they all can fight with, hey, did sifu teach me all the sets? Okay. Did you get the set? Did you get the set? Did you get the Xiu Lim Tao set? Did you get the secret set and so forth? Okay. What they don't know is this. So this is the trap, okay? Meaning that the sifu can give you 100%, but if your level is not up there, you will not be able to see it. And then you end up with, I believe, I think, my way, my opinion. Seriously? If you get up to here, what opinion? It is all scientific. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why many people is arguing about 二枚十二庄 or the Shaolin or all kinds of stuff, because they never get up to here and see what is going on. So they will use anything to argue, to defend their position in a certain state. If you go up to this state or go up to this state, I say, oh, come on, okay. It is obvious. Don't you see that it is obvious? Okay. And so the teacher, a good teacher or an enlightened teacher, should say an enlightened teacher, okay, will teach two things. One will teach the basic, because there's no such thing as complete system, the basic core where he can handle, okay, where he know, and then develop his student up the state, okay. So like if a teacher learns, say, the Wing Chun three sets, he's going to teach the student 3 sets, all the 3 sets. But that's not the key. If you learn the 3 sets, it doesn't mean that you know the thing. To raise one state of that 3 state, okay, is the major key of the teacher. 3 set, mimic 3 set, everybody can do it. Every student can learn it. But to get up to the yellow, that is the real Kung Fu. Okay, so if one want to have advanced Kung Fu, that's way to go. Otherwise, it is watering down anyway by nature. Okay, and even if you can look at it, okay, you can look at like Grandmaster Yip Man. Okay, Grandmaster Yip Man, in the 1972 interview, using a very important keyword called receive. And that receive concept, it can be linked to the short strike art in the 1700, and then link, you can trace it to the Qi Ji Guang 1560s. Okay? Now, if you look at his student, okay, or the grandmaster, we today can see. So how many of his students actually see the term receive from Grandmaster Yip Man? Okay. See? And actually I have met a lot of people who critiques Grandmaster Yip Man. Okay. They critique him big inside out and everything. But guess what? These people who critique Grandmaster Yip Man have no idea what is receiving. And in fact, because they study some internal art, like a Tai Chi, like different art, and then some southern art, like a White Crane and all Jordan, or other art, then they critique Grandmaster Yip Man. But they do not know the core of Wing Chun, of Grandmaster Yip Man, which is the receive. Okay, come accept that Lai Lao Lao is the receive. Okay, so say Grandmaster Yip Man is here, we can be here and critique the hell out of him. Okay, because we don't see. It's not that because he don't know. Okay, so exactly it is the issue when people say Wing Chun is Wing Chun. Like in Hong Kong, there's a big argument and so forth. Or Grandmaster Yip Man, the saying of majority of teaching of Grandmaster Yip Man is the Wing Chun, W-E, W-E-N-G, the Shaolin Wing Chun. Well, the issue is if you look at Grandmaster Yip Man with this, not this, you miss the key point receive. Saying that, okay, technically, let's go look at the Shaolin Wing Chun of Hong Kong. Did anybody in the Grandmaster of the past 100 years talking anything about receive? You cannot find one. At least I cannot find one in YouTube, in writing and so forth. And the signature of Wing Chun is not this type of art. Okay? So it is not like I want to be right, okay, or mine is right, my opinion, I believe. No. If you go up here in the like the yellow or systemic level, you know the cause effect, and you can read the signature. You look at that, this is different stuff. And again, I mentioned Hong Kong Wing Chun here, Shaolin Wing Chun here. Not that it is bad or put down. No, every art is good. I just bring this up because this is a issue, a case which is really exists in the history of Wing Chun. I just want to show you that this is different. And so again, this spiral dynamic stuff is a very, very important model today. Okay, so instead of looking outwards, say, hey, that guy's no good, that guy's no good, this grandmaster. I'm like that too when I was young. Okay, but now it's like you see that, okay, this is the spiral dynamics. Hey, it is that I don't see it. It's not what it is. Like I think, I believe. Okay. So this is a big issue, and it happened with me too. There are many people, under my Sifu, late Grandmaster Chow Hong Choi's descendant. Okay. So, oh, Hendrik, you didn't teach this. Sifu didn't teach this. Do I care to argue? I don't, because from people's critics, you can see where they stand. Okay. As usually people say, you know, this is not what Chow Hong Choi do. I usually ask them a question: have you really sparred with the late Grandmaster Chow Hong Choi? I said, ask all my Sihing, like Peng, they are still alive. Did Sifu go really close? Really close? Okay. And most never even met Grandmaster Chow Hong Choi, and they do not know this short strike deal. Okay, and they're keeping thinking Choi Lei Fat stuff. Oh, we do this and do this, but they never spar with Grandmaster Chow Hong Choi. They don't know the short strike part, and they were so. That's how it is. So one need to be here. Okay, so when we develop Kung Fu in ancient China, it's actually climbing this stair. Okay, it is not climbing a family tree stair. Like, hey, I'm gonna learn from my Qigong or my Xizhou, so that right away I surpass my teacher, my Sifu. It's not. It's not that, oh, I learned 10 sets and you only have 4 sets. When I was studying with Grandmaster Chow Hong Choi, my Sisok told me, your Sifu have 25 sets. How many sets have you learned, Hendrik? At that time I was 17, 18. So I go ask Sifu. And, hey Sifu, Sisok said, you have this much set. Can you please teach me this? Okay, I'll promise I'll study it. I'll teach to other people, not making money on this kind of stuff, blah, 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 blah. And he said, you know what? You just want to be good at one thing. Get your level up. Okay? All the 25 sets you can create. However, I must tell you, every set have different type of momentum handling. Okay? That's what he told me. So, the key what late Grandmaster Chow Hong Choi told me is this: you need to know the core. You get up here, okay, in today's language, get up here, and then you watch out. Every set have their momentum, okay? So, meaning that once you know every set have their momentum, once you know the momentum type, and that is what the key is. It's not that you want to study 25 sets. Okay? So it all boils down to the spiral dynamics. Okay? So this is a big thing, I think, because we do have the model today. We need to go study the spiral dynamics and improve ourselves. No. Improve ourselves. We all have room to improve, and do not concern of the water down, because if anybody will water down Wing Chun, it's us who water down, because we do not have that level, that state. We incapable to understand it. It's us. It's not them. So not blame. And so, as what I say again, the guy who feel insecure, of course he's going to withhold. But you know, his art is not going to be advanced. Whoever withholding, his art is not going to be advanced. The guy who have art who is advanced can be like a magician. He can take things and use it. Okay? And the guy who is doing cult, you know, don't blame them too, because it's like the Buddha's student, his top students, or their cult leader. But when they see what is the fact, then they will change, they'll transform. And everything boils down to this spiral dynamics. So it is not them, it is us. We water down if we don't know what it is. Okay. Saying that, of course, there are people who's evil, okay, who just want to do damage to others just for themselves. And seriously, those type of people will not have a high advanced art too, because they spend their time to want to be number one, their time want to screw other people, want to make money. They don't have time to really investigate and get their state up. Okay, so those are the type of people. And also today we have issue with the student. Okay, student. The attitude of the student is a problem. The study of Kung Fu is problematic today due to this type of attitude. So let me tell you one thing, one story. Ye Fei is one of the top general, like Qi Ji Guang, okay, Ye Fei, but 1,000 years ago. So one day, his son, he had a very strong army. His son was practicing on top of a horse, okay, riding the horse and practicing fighting, okay, because the army, they had to fight on top of the horse. And the horse gets scared, so the son fall down to the ground, okay. So Ye Fei is looking at him, okay, because he inspect all this thing. And so guess what? Right away, his official took his son out, beat his ass for 100 times to warn him. Okay. In usual today, we'll say, hey, it's the horse problem, or you say, hey, that is horse problem. I'm your son. Remember, this is the horse problem. It's not my problem. Okay. But the mentality of Ye Fei, the reason why he have a strong army, is this: you need to be careful. Okay. Yes, the horse can go run wild and you fall. If this is a real war, you're dead already. Okay, you fall down that way, you're dead already. So you have to remember this. You have to learn from this, and so next time you can improve, so that it gives you a better chance of survive. Okay. But today, if a student or my son falls, oh yeah, my son, okay, it's not. So that is how the discipline and the training to have a strong army. Same thing in Zen. Okay, same thing in Zen. Same thing in martial art training. So it is hard. Like my personal experience, like when Master Shen Hua said, hey Hendrik, you shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. Even say I repent, I say, hey Sifu, sorry, my fault. He said, you better learn this, okay? You have no control on life and death. So shut up, don't be big mouth, okay? All your knowledge is useless. I mean, it's hard, right? But this is true. I have no handle. I need to go study more. Okay? The reason I tell her this is this. Many students, and this is I heard from many different Wing Chun Sifu, who is good Sifu. They told me that there are students who give them money. Okay, just pay them money. And the student just want to be entertained, be served, be baby fit, and they look down on their teacher, say, hey, no, this is just a guy, I pay him money. Okay? How can you learn with this kind of attitude? That's disrespect to Sifu. Okay? And there are people around the world who tell me this, okay? In Europe, in US, who wrote me, who told me that student is like that. And then when they get their black sash or anything, they just go away like they already know everything. Okay? So, as using the spiral dynamic, they just know the set. They don't even climb this tree yet, this state yet. They say, well, they know everything. And you know what is Sifu? I can go out there and start my own Wing Chun. Okay? ABC Wing Chun. I'm better than my Sifu. Okay? So, and there are people, okay, and this is also Wing Chun Sifu told me. There are people, students, who go from one Sifu to the other Sifu and always badmouth his old Sifu to the new Sifu, and then this go brush their wing to some Sifu, and then use the name, and then create their own stuff. This is also very common. Okay, there are many Sifu around the world message me that way. How can this type of mentality is going to learn real thing, real deal, to get real experience, to get up high here? You can. Okay? So this is what I like to share with you. Sure, you know, this video is rather long to talk about this, but this is what exists. So again, to conclude this, study the spiral dynamics, know ourselves. Okay, we are the guy who blame if to be blamed if a thing is watered down. And the last thing I like to tell you is this: everybody today like to say, I want to be the grandmaster. Okay, my title is grandmaster. In Chinese word is that 宗师. I start this lineage. You know, if you talk this to a Zen teacher, a real Zen enlightenment teacher, that he will tell you bullshit. Okay, because the Zen guy is very strict. Okay, the monk is very shit. They'll tell you bullshit. There's just a garbage or rubbish collector. What grandmaster? Okay. What it means is this: if you are not here, you can collect all kind of garbage and rubbish and stir around that. It's just rubbish. Okay. If you are here, you don't have this much. You just say one or two simple things, and then you are the grandmaster. You know the art. Okay. And grandmaster is by Chinese definitions. Okay. There are not many grandmasters around. Okay. Why? Because the grandmaster have a standard. The standard is he is the person who his mind or his thinking, philosophy will change the era. That is grandmaster. Is Bruce Lee a grandmaster? Yes, because his thinking changed the Chinese martial art era. He is a grandmaster. Okay. So it's not like today everybody say, well, I'm grandmaster so and so, I'm Sifu so and so, this grandmaster, that grandmaster, grandmaster Yip is not right. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just stealing from Wing Chun, blah 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 blah. But you know what? If you don't even know that the core of Grandmaster Yip Man, the receiving, you don't even see it when it put in writing, stop calling ourselves Grandmaster, because we really here, not here. Okay? So this is to share with you today.